Hello, welcome to this quick video introduction to WhosOff. This video is aimed at super users, which is to say the individuals that will be managing and controlling the admin aspects of the WhosOff account. Navigating around WhosOff can be done using this left-hand menu, which can be closed using the icon at the top. This is particularly helpful on pages with more information, such as the WhosOff calendar and the reports pages. Let's start by looking at the WhosOff calendar. This page allows employees to view a shared calendar of leave. As a super user, you can choose which type of leave the staff can see. For example, it is common to share information on when employees have holiday, but not sick leave. Scrolling down, we can tell when staff have holiday, as well as the dates, but we can also choose to record any kind of absence that we want. In this example, we have some study leave and some sick leave, which we can view as we are logged in as a super user, but may be hidden when a staff member visits this page. I can use the buttons on the right-hand side to look forward to upcoming months, but I can also use the filters at the top if I want to refine my view, such as focusing on a particular department. To prevent staff from seeing information that isn't relevant, you can specify the amount of information that they can see. For example, you may choose what level of user can see across the whole company and which level of user can only see their own department. You can also hide certain leave types, such as sick leave, from the lower levels of user. Heading over to the dashboard, this is the first screen that a user will see when they log into the platform. The main part of the dashboard shows us our widgets, which are customizable pieces of information that we've chosen to specify what information we want to see when we first log in. For example, I've chosen to show my allowances so that I'm aware of that every time I access the system. I can also see my tasks so that as a manager, I know if there are any pending leave or overtime requests awaiting my attention. The WhosOff widget shows who is off today without me needing to check the calendar. And the request leave widget makes it even easier to book leave from my dashboard. But I can edit this at any time and choose whatever options I decide to. WhosOff makes it easy to manage public holidays using the free days function. This is something that as a super user you'll need to set up. So under administration, if we come to free restricted days, we can see here all of the dates that I've already put in place. These are easy to import, so if you need the public holidays for a particular country, you can select this button at the top right, select the relevant country, and you'll be presented with a list of upcoming dates. You can of course choose which ones to include or exclude, and you can even apply these to specific departments, so that if you have users in different countries, you might separate them out by department, or indeed if you have some departments who aren't entitled to the public holidays, you can treat them separately. After importing, those will show on the WhosOff calendar. For example, the 28th of August here is a free day for all of my staff members, and so it's highlighted in green with an F. What effect does this have? It means that if someone books the week off and the Monday is a free day, it would only deduct 4 days from their entitlement instead of 5, effectively making the Monday a non-working day. In fact, let's go ahead and have a look at that in action. We can request leave directly from the dashboard using the quick access option at the top here. This lets you access the most important and common functions of the system. So by opening Submit Leave Request here, we get a panel on the right hand side where I can take into account what my colleagues have got booked before I go and request my own time off. Let's book in some time for the upcoming month. First of all, we'll select the type of leave we want to book, then the date. We'll choose the duration, so whether that's all day, a half day, being AM or PM, or even multiple days duration. And finally, we could put in any notes if we wanted to, supporting our entry. Clicking check details means the system will confirm to us how many days will be removed from our allowance on approval. This is of course based on the user's working week. While I work Monday to Friday, and therefore this request covers 5 working days, another individual who is a part-timer may not have as many days deducted from their entitlement. Finally, clicking submit leave will send that request as an email to my approver, letting them know I've submitted a request and they now need to log into the system and action it. Just now, we saw a rather long list of leave type options, and those can be added by yourself as the super user. So you can record any kind of absence that you need to, but you can also choose certain permissions to prevent or allow staff and approvers to see and to request these types of leave. For example, if I click on our holiday leave type here, we can choose whether that leave requires approval, whether it deducts from a user's allowance. We can choose the maximum duration a holiday request can be, and we can also choose which level of user gets to see any notes, gets to request the leave, and indeed gets to see it on the calendar. So for something like sick leave, we may choose that approvers may see and submit this type of leave, but we will not allow the staff to do it themselves. Now that we have an idea of WhosOff's very basic functions, how do you actually go about getting it set up? Well, it's very easy. Whether you're setting up the account from scratch or adding a new department onto the system, you can add your staff members in bulk. Again, coming to the quick access menu, because it's the easiest way to do this, I'm going to click on Add Import Staff, and I'm presented with a bulk import option. By downloading the template, I get an Excel spreadsheet which I can fill in with my staff members' basic information. Once we've filled in the spreadsheet, we can upload it back into the system, allowing us to add all of our users at once. It's important to note you don't have to give access to the staff members as soon as you import them. You can still keep on setting up the platform before releasing it to them. By clicking on Import Staff, all of our users are imported, and while we could send them a welcome message at this point, we might choose not to and do so later once we've fully set up the system. Now that we have our staff members added, we can edit their details or change their settings via the Manage Staff section. As this comes under administration, only super users will be able to do this, but by clicking on an individual, I can update their profile and information such as their department or who's set as their approver, but I can also update their leave allowances and even change their working times if they happen to work a different schedule. By going to the leave section for an individual, we get the option to add leave on that user's behalf. This can be helpful if you're setting up the system, as you can input the leave already known about and set up ready for the staff member to get access so that they have the correct information displayed, or you can use it in the instance that someone needs to book leave but isn't able due to a restriction that you've put in place. WhosOff also allows you to bulk book leave for your staff members. So if you do things like shut down over Christmas and deduct those days from your employees' balances, you can use this tool to very easily book off a particular leave type and a particular date. Finally, while recording all of this information in WhosOff, you're able to extract it via the reports. The WhosOff report, for example, is perfect for selecting a date range and quickly displaying all leave for your staff members. These reports can be printed or they can be exported if you need to extract the data to a spreadsheet format. Finally, if you need any assistance, there's a help area where you can find useful knowledge-based articles to guide you through the various functions in WhosOff, as well as user guides. And of course, you're always welcome to contact the support team, whether by submitting an inquiry through the app or giving us a ring. Don't forget, if you're looking to set up WhosOff for the first time, this whole process is made incredibly simple with our setup wizard, where in just a few clicks you can populate some pre-suggested information and be ready to roll out to your staff in a very short amount of time.